Welcome back to our Kings related YouTube channel and this recap of the Kings 108-103 loss to the Brooklyn Nets on Sunday night at the Golden One Center. And folks, let me just get this out of the way first. We all thought that the Kings finally having a few days off to get some rest, get healthy, get some practice in would be good for them. Apparently not, because this team looks worse than before they had those 3 days off last week. This team tonight, the Kings, their bench was outscored 44-9. Keon Ellis was the only player to score off this bench. Kobe Jones, 17 minutes, did not score. Trey Lyles, 18 minutes, did not score. Doug McDermott played 4 minutes in that first half, did not score. The only production you got was from Keon Ellis, was your 9 points. Again, this team relied heavily on their starters, especially De'Aaron Fox. Teams have lost 4 of the last 5 since De'Aaron Fox has gone off. And again, De'Aaron Fox had a really good game tonight. 37 minutes, 31 points, 10 of 16 from the field. He was 3 of 4 from 3. The one, if you want to nitpick here, the one thing Fox did not do well was free throws. He was 8 of 12. Sabonis did not have a great night, shooting-wise, even though another double-double, 13 points, 18 rebounds, 7 assists. He also had 4 turnovers. 6 of 12 from the field in 35 minutes. Keegan Murray. I thought Keegan Murray really came on there in the second half. 36 minutes for Keegan Murray. 21 points, 8 rebounds. 6 of 8 from the free throw line. 1 of 5 from 3. DeRozan, 35 minutes, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 of 18 from the field. He doesn't look like the same player. We knew coming into this season that the lack of depth on this team was an issue. And this was the 17th game. The lack of depth is really showing up from this Kings team. Just look at the bench. And one man in Malik Monk is not going to fix all the issues that this team has. Again, you have a Brooklyn Nets team that comes into your building. They made 19 threes in this game. 19. The Kings have allowed teams to make 19 plus threes in 5 games this season. That's tied for the most in the NBA. And it was really got it going there in the first 10. Well, the Brooklyn Nets could not miss in that first half. At one point in that first half, the Brooklyn Nets were up big. It looked like a foul on Kobe Jones, and Mike Brown got a technical foul, and he was like face to face with the referee. And that somewhat lit a fire under this team. And since that technical in the first half, the Kings did go on a run. But the Kings lost this game in the first half. Because in that first half, they allowed the Brooklyn Nets to shoot way too many open threes. And I thought they did a better job in the second half of running Brooklyn off the three-point line. But in this game, Cam Thomas was absolutely phenomenal for Brooklyn. 34 points, 4-10 from three, 11-22 from the field, 36 minutes. That's the one guy that really got it going. Then you had Cam Johnson, 16 points, 3 of 6 from three. But Clowney off the bench for the Brooklyn Nets was 5 of 8 from three. And on the season, Clowney shoots 36%, 34% from three. So this new the motto, if you're facing Sacramento, is if you're struggling from three, let's hope the Kings are next up as your next opponent. Because I guarantee you'll have a good 3-point shooting night. But Kings were outscored in the first quarter. They trailed 37-28 after one. They won the second quarter by one. They won the third quarter, but it was at fourth quarter the Kings lost the game by 5, 20-15 in that fourth quarter. And the only bucket they had late in that game was free throws. Where is the clutch moments from this team? De'Aaron Fox carried that team in the first half. He got a little help there in the second half with Keegan Murray and all that, but the Kings lost this game in the first half, allowing the Brooklyn Nets to get too many wide open threes in the game. From the field, both teams shot 48% from the field. Brooklyn from three, 48%, way too much. Kings shot 36% from three. Free throws, 68% for Brooklyn, 64% for Sacramento. 20 of 31 from the free throw line. They missed a lot of threes. So the Kings did try to make a rally there late in the game, but it's the turnovers and the limiting of threes that they did not do. In the game, the Kings had 16 turnovers, and that has been an issue here as of late for this team, is the turnovers. That's been an issue. Sabonis had 4 turnovers in this game. It's been an issue for him here for a while, but this Kings team, you're now 8-9 on the season. You're 4-5 at home. That's not getting it done, and it doesn't get easier tomorrow night when you got the second best, you got the number 2 team in the Western Conference coming in tomorrow night in the Oklahoma City Thunder, who, by the way, OKC, they've been off since Wednesday. So, and that is a really good team, and they make you earn every shot. They're the best defensive team in the NBA right now, so tomorrow night's not going to be easy, and you better get better production from your bench. And we knew going into the season that the depth is really showing up on this Kings team. And one man in Malik Monk is not going to fix the issues. You got to start getting better production. Keon Ellis, Trey Lyles, Doug McDermott, Kobe Jones. I thought Kobe Jones had some nice, even though he did not score, I thought he did have a nice block in this game in the first half. I thought he did some nice things defensively, but you got to get more production from the bench. And this is real, and that's on you, Monte McNair, and this front office not doing enough to improve the depth of this team going into the season. That's on you, on this front office. Because in a loaded Western Conference, if you fall too much behind, you are not going to make that up. In this Western Conference, you absolutely are not going to make that up in a loaded West. Because you got right now, you got the Oklahoma City. They're in second, tied with Golden State at 12-4. You got the Houston Rockets 12-6. You got the Lakers 10-6. You got the Clippers 11-7. You got the Nuggets at 9-6. The Grizzlies at 10-7. The Suns at 9-7. And then you got both Dallas and San Antonio at 9-8. You got Minnesota at 8-8. You got the Kings at 8-9. And then you got Portland 7-10. So you don't want to fall too much behind. Is there time to get better? Of course. But you got to start playing better at home. You cannot lose games at home. You just can't. And this is a game that the Kings should have won. Because if you look, the Brooklyn Nets tonight were without Dorian Finney-Smith, Dennis Schroeder, Bojan Bogdanovic. And the one guy that really went off for Brooklyn was Cam Thomas, who you did not have an answer for. But there is time to figure it out. But you got to figure it out now. With the bench production, the three-point shooting is an issue. It was an issue in the preseason, and it continues to be an issue here 17 games into this season. So, Kings are 8-9. They fall to the Brooklyn Nets 108-103. Doesn't get any easier Monday night when the Oklahoma City Thunder are in town on Monday night. And hopefully you get better production from your bench, or the Kings will be 8-10 after Monday night before they head off on a road trip. Because if you look at this next stretch of games, the Kings have had a somewhat easy part of their schedule, and they had not taken advantage of it whatsoever. They have not. But if you look at the next few games, you got the Oklahoma City Thunder Monday night. But then you got Minnesota on the road on Wednesday night, the night before Thanksgiving. And then on the day after Thanksgiving, you got an NBA Cup game on Friday night in Portland. And then you come back home for 2 against San Antonio, and then an NBA Cup game against the Houston Rockets. And then you go back on the road for 2, a back-to-back against Memphis and San Antonio, and then you're home for Utah. The Kings have had a somewhat easy part of the schedule and they're 8-9. You have not taken advantage. This loss hurts. The loss in Toronto hurts because you lost that game in overtime in Toronto. So there, I would say it's time to freak out because you still have time to figure things out and get right. But it better start Monday night with Oklahoma City in town, the number 2 team in the West, which should be fun because you got SGA and De'Aaron Fox going head to head. You got Alex Caruso. You got Isaiah Hartenstein, who I believe is back for them. And that's just a really good Oklahoma City squad. And in my opinion, I think Oklahoma City, at the end of the day, will be the best team in the West. So, Kings now 8-9 as they lose to Brooklyn by 5. And be sure to tune in to tomorrow night for another recap following Thunder Kings. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, leave a comment, and we'll catch you tomorrow night for another recap following Kings Thunder right here on our Kings related YouTube channel. And go Kings!